A very good morning to all my dear children. A fresh day, a new start. And yes, I'm glad to know that you all know that we'll be starting with a new chapter, a new day with a new chapter today. So we all are going to start a new act altogether, that is Indian Partnership Act. And before that, let's have a warm welcome wishes for all of you who have joined us, Ms. Kunjan Devi, Ishan, Shrindi, MD, Diksha Agarwal Mohammed, MD, Barkutullah, Manjanath, Lakshita, good morning. Rohan, Deepak, Bhargavi, Rohan, Miss Priya Pandit, good morning. And Priya Pandit says, ma'am, where are you from? So I am from Chandigarh. I think I told you earlier also, all of you. Bhumika has a question for us regarding right of lien. And yes, definitely before proceeding with the Partnership Act, we will complete the last topic, which I promised to you that we're completing today, the auction sale. Mr. Rahul Gareja, Chanchal, Diksha, Sarvas, Sonali, Manvi, Anchal, Ankit, Surya Kumar, Asha, all of you, a very good morning. Soumya, Shruti, Sahil, Sidra, Karan, Tanishka, Kumari is also here today. So let us read what Bhumika is asking. In case of sub-sale made by buyer, if buyer is doing so with the assent of the seller, then seller cannot exercise his right to lien or stoppage in transit. Absolutely correct. This is what we understood. If A is selling the goods to B and B in front of A, the seller, by taking his consent and approval, B further makes a sub-sale. Sub-sales means selling the goods to a new buyer. So now if B is selling the goods to Mr. C, a new buyer, and A gives his approval, then you're absolutely correct, Ms. Bhumika. A will lose his right to lien and stoppage in transit. Okay. But if the seller is unaware, no approval was given, then the general rule will be applied. He can still exercise his right to lien. He will go to Mr. C and he can take his goods back. This is what we understood in the case of pledge also. The rights of pledgee still remain applicable. So in both the cases, you have to remember the general rule is that the buyer cannot sell it to the sub-buyer unless he has made the payment. But if seller himself is giving the consent for such sub-sale, then seller cannot exercise his right to lien. Miss Arshdeep, not sure about that as of now. Many videos. Okay, Ms. Divya Kumari, thank you so much. I'm glad you are watching our videos and you're learning a lot. Thank you so much. We should all be thankful to Institute for giving us a chance to stay connected with each other. I'm glad. Vaishnavi, Sarthak, yes, Sarthak said, even I'm excited to start a new chapter today. Well done, all of you. Those who have written, we have revised. Sale of goods. Applause for all of you. This is how we will remember and retain our memories. Sambhavi Sinha, Akshina, Vedant, Vagdevi, Priyadarshini, Regu, Soumya, Ziba, Sahil Sahapurkar. All of you children, good morning. Yes, Divya Kumari, even if you start from today, you will be able to understand because we are going to start a new chapter. Answer question number 7 of Unit 2. Manvi Khanna, again, remind me towards the end of these specific queries because right now we'll be starting with the new chapter. Sakshi also wants to understand something exceptions. So we just did the exceptions where the lien comes to an end, Sakshi. Once the termination of lien happens, when you part with the goods or by a stopple, seller himself says, remain silent and the sub-sale is being made, your right to lien comes to an end. Ekta Tiwari, you will also remind me. Question number 4 of Unit 4 we'll be taking. Don't worry. Tejashri, Manvi Khanna, all these queries at the end. Yes, Miss Lakshmi says after revising it becomes easy. Very good. Okay, good morning, Rafika, Sanjay, Prateek. Now let's proceed, children. Otherwise, we'll keep wishing each other only because so many of you keep joining and then you send your wishes. So as promised, we'll be first completing the last topic which was left last time, that is auction sale. So children, what is the meaning of auction sale? I told you under Indian Contract Act also, we have given you a reference of auction sale. Section 64 typically tells you when the sale is being made through the mode of auction sale, what are the rules, regulations to be followed, when does the property gets transferred in the case of auction sale. So number one, we need to remember the definition of auction sale. What is the meaning of auction sale? It says it's a mode of selling property by inviting bids publicly. So if you are selling the things at your own shop and you're asking your relatives and friends and family members just to sit and tell the price of the goods, will it be an auction sale? The answer is no. You have to invite the bids from public outside. Property is to be sold to the highest bidder. Now, I gave an advertisement for auction sale and many people have come, those who are known as bidders have come and they have taken their chairs and they will be fixing the price for my goods. So for example, I'm selling my laptop. I have said it's an auction sale. I have reserved the minimum price. Say I have reserved that minimum 20,000 had to be paid for the second-hand laptop. Now you bidders will decide what price are you willing to pay. So somebody will say I'll pay 25,000. Somebody will say I'll pay 28,000. इसको बोलते हैं नीलामी पे चीज को बेचना. In Hindi it's mean नीलामी पे sell करना. इसमें अलग-अलग rate हर कोई buyer देगा and whatever rate I am satisfied with, I will on the fall of hammer I will give my acceptance and the sale is set to be complete. Say for example, Mr. A quoted the rate of 45,000 and I'm really impressed. 20 was the minimum bidding rate and he's ready to pay till 45,000. And then 3 to 4 announcements will be made, 45,000, 45,000, 45,000. Anyone still wants to make a better price, can give a better price. But if you don't get a better price, you fall the hammer and you fix the price of 45,000. Sale is set to have taken place. This is known as auction sale, where we are selling the property by inviting the bids and the property is sold to the highest bidder. So in our example, 45,000 was the highest bid. So we sold the property to him. It is governed by law of agency. So whatever the rules are to be formed, an auctioneer is an agent. So he says the person who is dealing as an auctioneer, I am a seller, I have appointed an auctioneer. So law of agency tells the rules, whatever the auctioneer, how he has to be appointed, how he'll be acting, how he'll be behaving. That is all governed by law of agency. He is only selling as my agent. I have appointed him to make my sale. He does not become my owner of my laptop. He's just doing it as an agent. He may sell his own property as the principal and did not disclose the fact that he's selling. So even if he wants to sell some of his own property also, say for example, he was selling my laptop, he thought, let me just do auction sale of this water bottle also. So in his own property also, if he wants to sell, he is not required to disclose the fact that he's so selling. So he can act as a principal for his own property, but for my property, he's acting as an agent. So these are the legal rules, children, which are given for auction sale. Very, very simple. You simply have to learn these rules. कोई escape route नहीं है. मैं समझा दूंगी कि क्या लिखा हुआ है इसमें. Learn तो आप नहीं करना है. वो मैं अब आपके घर आकर books नहीं खोल कर दूंगी कि आप learn करो. That is your work to do. But yes, ma'am, we have to learn this. Then only we can get, it can be a question of 6 marks. What is auction sale? Write the legal rules. It can be 4 marks. You get full marks if you write all these kind of points. So let us understand what are the rules regarding auction sale. Number one, where the goods are sold in lots. Abhi lots kya hota hai? Say for example, I want to sell you 100 bags of steel. And for making sale of 100 bags of steel in auction sale, I have made 10 bags of 10 bags each for those steel or iron rods or whatever content I'm say, for example, 100 bags of cement. So instead of selling the entire 100 bags of cement together, I have made 10 lots of 10 bags each. So now this lot of 10 bags each, now this every lot of 10 bags will be considered as a separate contract. First, I will make the sale of first lot, that is 10 bags. Then I will pick up the lot of 10 bags, that's the second lot. So each lot is considered as a separate contract of sale. You cannot say when I have sold the first 10 bags, that means 100 bags have been sold. Every lot, whatever you have divided, maybe you have divided into five different lots of 20 bags each. I have divided into 10 different lots of 10 bags each. So whatever you want to divide, if you are putting up the sale in lots, each lot will be considered as a separate contract of sale. And how does the contract of sale gets completed? By the fall of hammer. I just told you. Right to bid may be reserved by or on behalf of the seller, and this right is expressly reserved, but not the seller or any other person. It says at times I might reserve the right to bid. So where I have quoted a reserve price, I have given you a price of minimum 20,000. That is reservation of the price can be done by the seller or maybe somebody else is doing on my behalf. But the sale is not notified by the seller. See, children, to do a lawful sale, seller should have given the permission, right? But it shall not be lawful for the seller to bid himself or to employ any other person to bid at the sales. अब मैंने क्या करा, मैंने खुद से ही किसी को खड़ा कर दिया बिडिंग में कि आप मेरे बिहाफ पे भी बिडिंग करो, रेट करो, just to increase the price. So I am tempted that I have given the minimum price of 20,000. So one of person who is my own relative is also standing in the bidders and he says 40,000. So now everybody is astonished कि उसने 40 बोल दिया तो मैं 40 से ज़्यादा ही बोलना पड़ेगा ना, या तो 40 पे सेल हो जाएगी. So such kind of notification, if the seller is trying to create a cheating kind of thing, a fraudulent law says this is not legal, this is can be treated as fraud by the buyer. So any such sale which is being made where the seller himself is trying to contradict with the prices, that cannot be done. So reserve price is the sale, it has to be subject to the reserve or upset price. I already told you reserve price is the minimum price which the seller has set. Pretended bidding is also a kind of a pretended bidding to done to raise the price. Like I just told you that I'm just pretending to create a bid. Pretending means नाटक करना, pretend करना. Actually में मुझे sale नहीं लेना है, purchase नहीं करना है, मैं तो सिर्फ rate का price बढ़ाने के लिए bidding दे. So such a kind of sale becomes voidable at the option of buyer, means buyer can reject this sale. They can cancel the contract if such kind of pretended bidding is being done. Now, example number 13 is very important. Examiner can give you straightforward question like this as well, or maybe a direct question. Many a time examiner has asked you explain what is auction sale. तो अब आपने ये 5 to 6 points learn करके लिख देने वहाँ पे. अब आपने समझ भी लिया है रिजर्व प्राइस क्या होता है, प्रिटेंडेड बिडिंग नहीं होनी चाहिए अगर इस तरह की बिडिंग होती है, या फिर अगर सेल नोटिफाई सेलर खुद अपना कोई बंदा खड़ा कर रहा है उसमें he is making different kind of rates just to increase the price, then it is a voidable thing. It is not legal. And how does the sale gets complete? By fall of hammer, goods sold in lots also I've explained to you. You can write about that also in your own language. So I give you 2 minutes. Just read example number 13. What does it say? So, yes, sir. So is it fine now? Hello. All right. So children, we were doing, no, Mr. Rohan Kumar, it is not necessary to remember the sections. I told you. Yes, if you can write the sections, then it gives a better impression. So Mr. Vikku Kumar, around 15 to 16 marks paper come from sale of goods. I explained you last time also. Priyanka Jha is asking what is bidding. Bidding is the price which is given by the buyer. Yes, Mr. Sameer Singh, that is also correct. Mr. Prateek Savalia, you can ask any point if you want to ask, but whole revision of chapter 4 will take a lot of time. We can do so after we are completed the syllabus. Mr. Sameer Singh is absolutely right, giving the rates for the same. I hope Samriti Maheshwari, now it is clear. There's no problem in sound now, Divyanshu. Yes, Miss Masoom, they are almost the similar points where the sale will be considered illegal. Okay, so I hope you all have read example number 13. So we were just talking about the same. It says, P sells a car by auction and it was knocked down to Q, who was only allowed to take it away on giving the check for the price. And the ownership will not pass unless the check was cleared. Remember, conditional appropriation, I told you, I'm selling you this car, but you have to make me the payment, then only the property will get passed. Till the check cleared, Q sold the car to R. Now, children, do you think R has made a valid sale? Yes or no? The answer is absolutely yes, because the property got immediately transferred on the fall of hammer. R had a good title to the car, therefore both the sale and sub-sale are valid in viewpoint of Q as well as R. Child, in particularly case of auction sale, see, he's writing the word by auction. So here you have to apply your mind that although it's a conditional appropriation, the property will get passed on the clearance of check. But we just learned that section 64 teaches us where auction sale is being made. Once you fall the hammer, the sale is set to be complete. Now the ownership has been transferred to Q. Since Q is the owner of the goods, he transfer it to Mr. R, or he just throw the car away, he breaks the car, whatever he wants to do, he is the owner, he can do whatever he wants, because on the fall of hammer, the ownership was transferred. Therefore, both the sale from P to Q is valid, and even the sub sale of Q to R is a valid sale. Clear ho gaya? Now, point number section 64A is very, very simple and very interesting. Law says wherever you have made a contract, but before it is performed, remember performance of contract? What is the meaning of performance of contract under sale of goods, children? Seller will do the delivery, buyer will make the payment. This is what we understood the meaning of performance of contract. He says if any tax revision takes place, then that increased, decreased tax will also be considered in the price of the goods. Say, for example, on 1st of September 2022, A promised to sell goods to B for rupees 50. And this rupees 50 was including the tax amount of rupees 2. Now, say, for example, till 31st August, the tax rates of this rupees 2 was revised to rupees 10. Now, what is the price that B should pay? I said 50 rupees was inclusive. Let me check your math skill today. 50 rupees B ने देना था 1st September को. 31st August को tax revision हो गई, and now the price of tax from 2 rupees has increased to rupees 10. So what will be the price which B has to pay to A? Let me see the correct answers. So it says now Mr. B will pay him the increased prices. Mr. P. Vishnu, right to bid reserved means he has asked somebody of his person. Seller says that, for example, I am the auctioneer. I have appointed my own people who are standing in the bidders and they are quoting the price. Avinash, consider definitely I can provide you the tips for remembering sections, but for CA Foundation, sections are not compulsory. So please give me the answer for this one, children. Wow, Divya Kumari saying 52. Why, bacha? So all those who have sent the answer 58 is absolutely correct. Miss Sidra says 500. I don't know where has 500 come up from. So 58 is absolutely the correct answer. Tejashri is writing 60. Janvi is writing 60, children. I told you 2 rupees is inclusive of 50. So now the 2 rupees has become 10 rupees. 2 was already included, additional 8 you have to add. Simple mathematics, children. So 58 is the price. Arshdeep is still lost between bids and bidding. 4th point, children, I have explained you auction sale in general. You just have to learn all those points. Don't worry much about that. Yes, Harshit Dubey, he will now pay the increased price. That's absolutely correct. Pooja Kumari, it's 58, not 60. Yes, Diksha Agarwal, that's absolutely correct. Good, children. So this is what we understood. Auctioneer can sell below the reserve price. No, Mr. Debarjun Das, you're asking, can the auctioneer sell below the reserve price? So I told you reserve price is the minimum price which is fixed by the seller. सो उतना तो प्राइस देना ही पड़ेगा, उससे हायर प्राइस आप कोट कर सकते हो. ओके मिस लक्ष्मी, यस 21st question. Remind me at the end when we are about to end the class, such kind of specific queries. You remind me after we have done the chapter of Partnership Act. We have to do partnership also. So all the specific queries related to your particular points, you have to remind me at 12:50. Okay. So inclusion of increase and decrease taxes समझ आ गया सबको. इसी तरह से अगर ये ₹2 zero हो चुके हैं, हो सकता है प्राइस हट ही गया हो, then obviously my students know that the buyer will pay ₹40. Okay, so whatever the taxes increase or decrease during the time of contract of sale is completed, they have to be taken into consideration by the buyer while making the payment. अगर tax increase हो गया, you will pay the increased price. If taxes have decreased, then you will pay the reduced price. All right, children. Now let us start a new chapter, Partnership Act. Because we were taking up all the queries last time, that's why auction sale has been carried forward today. Otherwise, we would have started with this chapter only. So the Indian Partnership Act 1932. Now, before beginning this chapter, let me ask a question to all of you. This also makes me well aware how much study material you read at home. So I told you last time that the sale of goods was part of Indian Contract Act, and in 1930, all the provisions related to Sale of Goods Act were taken out from the Indian Contract Act 1872 and a separate act was formed. Similarly, the Indian Partnership Act was also a part of one of the acts. Now you have to tell me, before 1932, Indian Partnership was part of Indian Contract Act or Sale of Goods Act or Companies Act. आप बताओ मुझे सोचकर. Indian Partnership Act 1932 was part of Indian Contract Act, Sale of Goods or Companies Act. Which act? Mr. Kaime, no, you have not missed anything new. We have covered the sale of goods. Ms. Diksha Agarwal is saying sale of goods is completely clear now. Thank you so much. Himanshu Pathak is the only one who has given me the correct answer till now. Mr. Kaim has also given the correct answer. Ustad Singh has sent the correct answer. Minakshi is correct. Ali Hussain is correct. Miss Shrindi is correct. Sambhavi Sinha is correct. Gunchita is correct. Arshdeep is also correct. All of you are now sending the correct answer. So we can say around 80% of the students have given the correct answer. That is Indian Contract Act 1872. And I'm so sorry to tell you, 20% of the strength of the students is writing it was part of Companies Act. बच्चा Companies Act तो 1956 है, इसके बाद बना है Indian Partnership Act 1932, Companies Act 1956, and now it has been recently amended, Companies Act 2013, which we are following. So Companies Act की बात तब करेंगे. No, Sakshi, you are wrong. It is Indian Contract Act. P. Vishnu saying sale of goods, not at all. That is तो absolutely incorrect. So companies तो फिर मुझे समझ आ गया कि आपने क्या सोच के करे. Yes, Priyanka Jha, it's Indian Contract Act. Absolutely correct. So before forming the Indian Partnership Act 1932, Vaishnavi, you're still writing Companies Act. I'm saying it's wrong. Now listen carefully. The 20% strength who does not know, Indian Partnership was also, children, part of Indian Contract Act. So like I told you, the Indian Contract Act 1872 was so huge, with having all the provisions of contractual obligations, having sale of goods also, and having partnership provisions also were part of Indian Contract Act. क्यों थी Indian Contract में? क्योंकि पार्टनरशिप भी तो एक तरह का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ही साइन कर रहे हो आप. आपको पता है कैसे बनती है पार्टनरशिप? 11th 12th में आपने business studies में accounts में partnership के बारे में पढ़ा है. If you are not at all a commerce student, you are a new student who has just joined CA Foundation, then also you have a subject accounts in which you would be referring to partnership for. So in general, partnership means, can you see these 4 to 5 people with a tie, wearing a tie, suit boot डालकर एक दूसरे के साथ हाथ मिला रहे हैं? This is known as forming a partnership with each other. बहुत कोई difficult या tough चीज नहीं है partnership. You just form an agreement that yes, Mr. So and so, I am going to be a partner in the business from today. So partnership is also kind of a contract which people sign among each other for doing the business together. That is why Indian partnership was also a part of Indian Contract Act. But the way 1930 government thought that let's extract all the provisions from the Indian Contract Act and make a separate Sale of Goods Act. Similarly, in 1932, all the provisions related to partnership were taken out from Indian Contract Act and a separate act, Indian Partnership Act 1932 was formed. Nowadays, you don't get MCQs, but when CPT was there and CA Foundation students, when we started giving MCQs, this was one of the very important MCQs that we used to give in the exam. That Indian Partnership Act was part of which act earlier? So you should know, children, it was part of Indian Contract Act. In 1932, all the provisions were taken out and a separate act for partnership was formed. All right. Yes, Bhumika is correct because partnership is based on agreement. Very good. Very nice, children. Vaishnavi, Lakshya, Bhavna, all of you are writing correct. But now I'm not going to look into the query section. I'm not saying your answers. I want all the eyes, ears, and full attention over here. Pen and paper in your hand. Whatever we are discussing, few points, you can keep noting down. Okay. Now, Indian Partnership Act, the first thing it does is Section 4 gives you the definition of what is partnership. So, जैसे मैंने आपको पिक्चर में दिखाया है, जैसे मैंने अभी आपको बोलकर एक्शन करके दिखाया है, जॉइन हैंड्स करना, यही अब हम लीगल लैंग्वेज में पढ़ने जा रहे हैं कि पार्टनरशिप होती क्या है. नंबर 1, पार्टनरशिप इज द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन पर्सन्स. अब रिलेशनशिप इज अ वेरी वाइड टर्म. रिलेशन तो किसी के साथ भी हो सकता है. फादर का सन के साथ भी रिलेशन है, मदर का डॉटर के साथ रिलेशनशिप है, हस्बैंड का वाइफ के साथ रिलेशनशिप है. तो क्या हम बोलेंगे every relationship is a partnership? No, not at all. Husband, wife are married. They're not having any partnership. Are they doing any business? Are they sharing the profits? So each and every line has to be considered of the definition in order to conclude whether it is a partnership or not. So किसी भी बंदे का relationship पहले तो लोग होने चाहिए, persons. For having a partnership, relationship between persons is very important, which means there should be at least 2 or more than 2 people. Now again, children, Harleen ma'am opens up a shop, grocery store, as all my students are very fond of eating chocolates. So I opened up a grocery store for selling few of the chocolates to my CA Foundation students. So now if I am the sole owner of that shop and I am doing business, I am selling the chocolates in the shop, who am I? I am the sole proprietor. Is it correct? I am the sole owner. So isko law mein kya kehte hain? He is known as sole proprietor. If I have appointed Raju in my shop as my employee, I have seen many students keep coming for buying chocolates, and I have also expanded my business. I have kept, along with chocolates, I have kept some biscuits, chips, and other burgers and other things also. Now I wanted to appoint someone because it's very difficult to just go here and there in the shop. So Mr. Raju is my employee who is helping me in my business. So children, can we say Raju is my partner? Yes, ma'am, or no, ma'am? Ab likho isme answer mujhe. If I have appointed Raju in my shop to help me, does he become my partner? Shrindi says yes. Yes, you're saying yes, he becomes my partner. By appointing an employee in as a sole proprietor, he will become my partner. Not at all. Mr. MD is also saying yes, ma'am. I don't know whether you're saying yes to this or the previous question. All those who have written, no, ma'am, he is just an employee. That's absolutely correct, because performing very good, very good, very good. All of you have almost written, no, ma'am. I think Mr. MD has written for a previous question. He's an employee, not a partner. All of you are correct. Pranav, Anjana, Aska, Jyoti, Utsas, Shivangi, all of you are correct, children. So that means now you know who is a sole proprietor. So sole proprietor is a person who is a single owner of the shop. He's running his shop. And if he appoints any employee, he will be an employee. He will not be a partner. Then who is a partner? So partner is a person who has agreed, जिसके साथ मैंने एक agreement sign करा है. कैसा agreement? To share the profits. Which profits? The profits which come from a business. Business which is carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. या तो वो बिजनेस मैं चला रही हूं या फिर मेरे पार्टनर्स बिजनेस कर रहे हैं एंड मैं लायबल हूं. बहुत बड़ी चीज है ये प्रिंसिपल ऑफ म्यूचुअल एजेंसी. आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू ईच एंड एवरी लाइन व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ म्यूचुअल एजेंसी, बट एज ऑफ नाउ सिंपली अंडरस्टैंड द डेफिनेशन which says that in order to have a partnership, we should have persons, 2 or more than 2 persons. So I just explained you with this example that one person cannot be a partner. Even if he employs 2 or 3 people to work under him, he will never be a partner. We have to have 2 or more persons who have signed an agreement among each other to share the profits. Profits should be coming from the business, and the business can be carried by all of them or one of them. इस लाइन का मतलब क्या है? All of them or one of them. That is the principle of mutual agency, which I will make it clear in a few minutes. So today's session, we will be talking about essential elements. All these 5 elements I just told you, each and every line point of these elements we'll be understanding. Then section 6, how the true test of partnership needs to be determined, that will be taught to you. And in today's class, we'll be covering all the differences of partnership with other forms of the organization. What are the other forms of organization? I told you I formed a sole proprietorship. I was doing a business. I got tempted and I thought to extend my business. And I joined hands with this Raju guy. मुझे लगा ये employee बड़ा ईमानदार है यार, इसको partner बना लेते हैं. And I signed an agreement with Raju, and now I have opened a partnership. So we both were expanding our business and doing a partnership. Now, whatever Raju is doing and sale purchase, I am liable. Whatever sale purchase I am doing, Raju will also be held liable. So now we have shared the liabilities, profits, and business assets also. Me and Raju thought, let's expand the business to a large scale. Why don't we open up a company? So we got the registration done, all the legal formalities were fulfilled, and we opened a company, HR Limited, or maybe HR Private Limited. So here I'm just trying to tell you that forms of organizations can be a different form of organization. हम sole proprietor भी run कर सकते हैं, हम partnership भी run कर सकते हैं, हम एक company भी बना सकते हैं. So today we'll be understanding how partnership firm is different from a sole proprietor, from a company, from club, from any association of persons. What are the differences? How the partnership is different from all these different forms of organization. And types of partners we'll be covering in the second session of chapter 1. Understood? So the first topic in this chapter is elements of partnership. So now I just now told you association of 2 or more persons. You will remember the example we just discussed about sole proprietorship. So 2 or minimum 2 people are must for having a partnership. Now regarding agreement, children, it can be entered by all the persons, either oral or written agreement. But some record has to be there that you and me are partners in the business. Then only it will be justified in the eyes of law that yes, a partnership between parties exists. Now, if I say that both of us entered into a partnership, say for example, we had a factory at a common place and we just took the factory in the name. There are 2 brothers, A and B, and the factory was in the name of Mr. A and B both. Mr. A and B both were the co-owners of a factory. They were brothers. Now, Mr. A and B are the co-owners of the factory, and they have let out this factory to a person, Mr. C. So this Mr. C pays a rent of rupees 10,000 every month for this factory let out space. Now, can we say A and B are doing any business? They have made an agreement that, okay, fine, we'll be letting out the factory to person, and they are getting money, and then they divide this money among themselves. They're also dividing this money. Say 6,000 A is keeping his elder brother, and B is given 4,000. So they have made an agreement to effect of sharing of income also. So you will say there are two and more persons. Yes, ma'am. They have an agreement also. They're sharing the profits also. But are they doing any business? Yes or no? You have to. What kind of income are they having? Are they doing any business? Gunjan Devi is the first one to say, no, ma'am, they're not doing the business. Excellent. Yes, Avinash, LLP can also be formed. Great. HUF can also be formed. Very good. Very nice. All those who have learned about these topics in their business studies topic as well. That's great. Yes, Vivek Kumar, you can have loss also in the business. So this is the difference between a co-ownership and partners. So A and B, what will you call them? They are just sharing the rental income. Khushi Kumari is saying, yes, ma'am, no, that's incorrect. The correct answer is Simran is saying no because it's not on daily basis. No, this is also not the correct answer. So the correct answer is no, ma'am, because they are the co-owners. You should know the reason. All of you, those who have written, Jia Patel, Prateek, Simran, you're right. Arshdeep, Mahesh, Rashi by saying no. But what is the exact reason? Pranav, Vinuta, Aska. The real reason is because it's Miss Vagdevi has written correct. No, ma'am, it's just a rental income. Arnoor is also correct. So you should know why it's not a partnership. Because A and B are not doing any business. They are earning rental income for their properties. So partnership can be between two or more people. They can be sharing of profits also. But motive of carrying business is must. अगर आप बिजनेस ही नहीं कर रहे हो, सिर्फ किसी तरह से इनकम ले रहे हो और उस इनकम को डिवाइड कर रहे हो अपने घर में, तो बच्चा आप पार्टनरशिप में नहीं हो. आप हिंदू अनडिवाइडेड फैमिली हो सकते हो, आपका जॉइंट फैमिली बिजनेस है, उसकी आप इनकम खा रहे हो, तब भी वो पार्टनरशिप नहीं होगी, तब वो HUF में फॉल करेगा. So there are different forms of organization: sole proprietor, partnership, company, club, co-ownership, having simply an association of person, HUF, LLP. All these are different forms of organization. Today we have to understand what are the important points in order to conclude that it is a partnership or not. So in the example we just did, you can write down in your notebooks that in case of co-ownership, where people are just owning the property together, they are joint owners, and the rental incomes earned from this property is divided among themselves. Just due to this transaction, they will not become partners. Why? Because they are not doing any business, and the income coming from the joint property is only a rental income. All right. And the fourth point should be the agreement should be to share the profits of the business. So A, B, C, they said that let's sign an agreement and we'll open up the firm ABC Associates, and they were doing business of sale and purchase of cement. So they were manufacturing, they were taking the cement from the manufacturers and they were giving it to the construction sites for building houses and other kind of things. Now they were doing this kind of business. Yes, ma'am, they are partners. They are two and more persons. They have signed an agreement. They are doing business. But whatever profits were coming, only A was keeping all the profits and B and C were not given anything. So can we say sharing of profits is happening? Law says where no sharing of profits is happening, again, it will not be a partnership. It might be some other form of organization. They might have formed a different organization where it can be a company. A is a director who is holding all the profits. He might have been giving dividend on other payments to B and C. But if it is a partnership, then sharing of profits is must in any ratio you want to have. You can have that higher profits go to A and B and C are getting lesser, but some ratio 1:1 or 2:1:1, whatever ratio you want to decide, percentage of sharing of profits has to be there. Then only it will be concluded as partnership firm. So if I'm not sharing the profits, it will not be partnership. And the fifth point is business carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. अब ये पॉइंट ध्यान से सुनने वाले. Now we just discussed A, B, and C are doing manufacturers of cement and they're selling it further for the construction side. Now A, B, C are the partners. There are 2 or more persons. Yes, ma'am. They have signed an agreement. Yes, ma'am. They're doing the business. Yes, ma'am. And now they are sharing the profits also. Okay, now they're sharing the profits also. So they are partners. So what is the meaning of this fifth point? This is what I'm going to explain you. Listen carefully. I'm not seeing the queries right now. Now this Mr. A goes and purchases sacks of cements from Mr. D, the manufacturer. तो इसने क्या करा, ये sacks of cements खरीद कर ले आया Mr. D से for the on the payment of rupees 10,000. So Mr. A went to purchase these packets of cement from Mr. D, the dealer who is with whom the firm is dealing, for rupees 10,000. And he paid him rupees 5,000 and said, 5,000 I'll pay you. Later on, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months lapsed. A did not pay balance 5,000. Now D said that I will go and recover my money from the firm. D came to their firm and he said, Mr. B, give my 5,000 rupees. Now children, can B and C say, we will not pay you 5,000 because Mr. A came to your shop. He only purchased cement for our business. So go and ask Mr. A only. Law says ऐसा नहीं होता है. आप partnership form कर रहे हो. There should be no conflicts when you're doing partnership. Partnership is based on the principle of mutual trust and faith. हम एक दूसरे के ऊपर विश्वास रखते हैं. जब हम hands join करते हैं, वो जो दिखाया था, that means we are trusting each other. Now, if Mr. A has purchased cement for the purpose of business, for selling it further, B and C will also be held liable for this transaction. Why? Because every partner is a principal as well as agent of the other partners. लिखो इसको. Asterisk mark करो अपने notebook में और लिखो पहले. Every partner is an agent as well as principal of other partners. अब इसका मतलब क्या है मैम? हमने एजेंसी चैप्टर तो पढ़ा नहीं है, हमें क्या पता प्रिंसिपल कौन सा है? प्रिंसिपल PAL वाला लिखना है इसमें. PLE वाला प्रिंसिपल की बात नहीं कर रही. ये जो स्कूल में प्रिंसिपल होता था वो PAL. So every partner is an agent as well as principal. का meaning क्या है? That in this particular example, A has acted as a principal and purchased the goods from D. B and C are the agents of the same business. They will also be held liable for any transaction done by their principal. Similarly, A is an agent of B and C. Whatever transactions are done by B and C, A will also be held liable. See, all the partners are mutually liable on the transactions made by each one of them. In partnership firm, children, you cannot say that Mr. A did something, B and C, I will not be liable. If you are a partner in a firm, you will be equally liable for whatever transactions the other partners are doing. Okay, let me make you all awake. Let's take some names from the students present in the class. Don't worry, Mr. Kaime, we'll cover section 6 from study also. Be with me, children, when I'm talking about a particular topic. पहले वो सुन लिया करो, आगे जाना है हमने, बाकियों को भी समझाना है ना, so we have to do it side by side. No, Ms. Bhargavi, where you're doing the rental incomes, it will not be any kind of partnership. But yes, if you're a property dealer and you're selling the buildings and you're doing a proper business, and you get the profits out of this business and you share among yourself, definitely it will be a partnership. Yes, Himanshu Pathak, you can have your profit sharing ratio on any basis. So I was asking you a question. Say, for example, Miss Nital Soni is writing good morning. I think she has just joined. So Mr. Kami and Anshita and Masoom. So Mr. Kami, Anshita and Masoom have joined a partnership together. Now Miss Masoom generally does all the business dealings with one of their dealer, that is Miss Khushi Namdev. क्या बोला मैंने? Masoom, Anshita and Mr. Kami, they are three partners in the firm, and Miss Masoom generally does all the business dealings with one of the dealer, Mr. Khushi. Now there was a payment pending to be made to Mr. Khushi of 1 lakh rupees. Can Mr. Khushi recover 1 lakh rupees from Anshita and Mr. Kami also? Yes or no? Although the transactions were made by Miss Masoom, can Miss Khushi Namdev, can Miss Khushi recover the money from Miss Anshita and Mr. Kami also? Yes or no? Mahesh Kumar says, no trust, no faith, there will be no partnership. Good. Definitely, yes. Good. Khushi can recover, Gunshita says. Very good. Very good, Harnoor Kaur. Very nice answers you have said. Yes, ma'am, they all will be liable to pay. Excellent, children. Sambhavi, Sakshi, Monu Singh, Soumya, MD, Aska, Sakshi, Gunjan Devi, Harnoor, Syed, Manjunathan, Gunshita, Nitil, Anishta, Sarvast, Sunny, Rashi, Priyanka Jha, Ali, Lakshita, Lakshmi S. All of you are correct. That means now my children know. Vansh Garg has written yes because there is a principal agent relationship. Very good. All the transactions were for business. Yes, ma'am. Ms. Diksha Agarwal is correct. Then only they will hand responsible. So this is what is the meaning of mutual agency. अरे वाह, आपको तो फर्स्ट हाफ में ही समझ आ गया म्यूचुअल एजेंसी क्या है. अगर आपको ये एग्जांपल समझ आ गया है, दैट मींस आपको हाफ ऑफ द चैप्टर इज नाउ क्लियर. यू हैव अंडरस्टूड प्रिंसिपल ऑफ म्यूचुअल एजेंसी. So law says, what is the true test of partnership? Whether these three people, Anishta, Masoom and Mr. Kami, are partners or not, how can we decide? There was an agreement between all the partners. Yes, ma'am, they had an agreement. Agreement is to share the profits of the business. Yes, they are sharing the profits and the profits are coming from a business, and the business was carried on by all or any one of them acting for all. So law says, unless and until these three things are not present, it will not be considered as a partnership firm. Likh lo. Unless and until these three things of agreement, sharing of profits and mutual agency are not covered, it will not be considered as partnership firm. So if you can see these blue, purple, red and yellow partners who are standing together, they have bought in the capital, their liability is unlimited, they can transfer the share with permission, they have made an agreement, they have a mutual confidence, number of partners are also being met, they're sharing the profits and losses in sales ratio or whatever ratio they want, or maybe equally. But unless and until they are not liable for each other, it will not be a partnership firm. So in that particular example, if Miss Khushi could not recover the amount from others, then it will not be a partnership firm. Principle of mutual agency is very important in order to conclude it is a partnership firm. That is why this principle is known as the conclusive evidence. Conclusive evidence का मतलब ये हुआ बच्चे कि इसको कंक्लूड करने के लिए, इस फॉर्म ऑफ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को फाइनल फैसला करने के लिए कि ये पार्टनरशिप है या नहीं, प्रिंसिपल ऑफ म्यूचुअल एजेंसी को देखना बहुत जरूरी. एंड ये क्या है? प्राइमा फेसी एविडेंस कि शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स हो रहा है, एग्रीमेंट है, तो अपेरेंटली हमें पता लग जाता है पार्टनरशिप फर्म है. बट अगर एबीसी एसोसिएट्स का कोई केस हो गया और वो कोर्ट में गए हैं और कोर्ट को पता करना है कि ये पार्टनरशिप है या नहीं, तो वो सारी चीजें देखने के बाद ये जरूर देखेंगे कि क्या ये म्यूचुअली एक दूसरे के लिए लायबल थे. हाँ जी, लायबल थे, फिर ये पार्टनरशिप फर्म है. ऑल द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ पार्टनरशिप फर्म विल बिकम एप्लीकेबल टू दिस particular firm. Just having an agreement and sharing of the profits, you will, I just explained you the example of co-ownership, right? In that co-ownership, was it a partnership? Yes or no? No, ma'am, it was not a partnership because they were just sharing the profits and they were just having an agreement. Why? Because this third element was absent. They were not mutually responsible for each other. But yes, the example that one of the girl gave, that if they are property dealers and they are selling the buildings, then they're sharing the profits and then they are mutually liable for each other, then yes, it will be a partnership firm. Understood, students? So now we'll cover from the study material and let's go to the study. So the same points that the study material has given, and then we'll do 2 important case laws also from the study material. So general nature of partnership, they have told you that what is the partnership, what are the essential elements, and these are the 5-6 associations I was talking about, children. We have to understand the difference between partnership and other forms. Now, examiner can ask you a very interesting question. What is a firm? पार्टनरशिप तो हमने मीनिंग समझ लिया कि पार्टनरशिप मैम आपने हमें बता दिया 5 एसेंशियल एलिमेंट्स को क्लब कर पार्टनरशिप बनती है. बट हु इज अ फर्म? इट सेज persons who have entered into partnership with one another are known as partners individually, and उन्हीं partners को collectively means इकट्ठा एक साथ उनको firm कहा जाता है. And the name under which the business is carried on is called the firm's name. So we will say A, B, and C have opened up a partnership with the name of ABC Associates. So what is ABC Associates? ABC Associates is the firm's name. Who are A, B, and C? A and B and C are the partners. And what is firm? Together A, B, and C are known as the firm. So ABC collectively means together they will be called as firm. Firm has no artificial or legal existence. ये A, B, C जो partners है ना, जो living things है, living human beings है, इन्हीं को ही हम firm कह रहे हैं. If A, B, and C tomorrow died, will the partnership firm continue to exist? Yes or no? Tell me, children. Tomorrow, if A, B, C partners died, will the firm continue to exist? Yes or no? Thank you, Gunshita. Yes, Akaldeep Paswan, that's absolutely correct. Mr. MD, I'll teach you whether the agreement can be in writing or oral. Yes, Kiran Shukla says that that is the deciding factor. Absolutely correct. Mr. Bonta Dharma, that's a very valid point. If the property is taken for personal use, definitely other partners will not be liable. We have huge, full-fledged chapter on this topic. So don't worry, we'll be covering that also. Right now, we are just understanding for the point of business. I forgot, what did I ask you? I start reading your queries and I only forgot. Yes, okay, you're answering me for the collective name for the firm. Everything is becoming easy. Good, Miss Lakshmi. Okay, Balasajan Lakshmi is asking to increase the vision. I'll just increase it. So Ali Hussain, Manvi, Monu Singh, Rohan, Manvi, Anshita, Sakshi, all of you are correct by saying no, ma'am. Why? Because A, B, C were collectively known as a firm. Firm has no separate legal existence. Once the partners come to an end, the partnership firm will also come to an end. Ms. Ekta Tiwari, absolutely correct, because firm has no separate legal existence. Very good. Khushdeep and Misab Khan are saying yes. I don't know why you're saying yes. The correct answer is no. The firm will come to an end. Lakshita is right. All of you are right. Business will restart, Ms. Azaka Sheikh said. So that is a separate story, Azaka. You're restarting the business with other partners. That is a different story. But I am trying to tell you that if all the partners have died, the firm will also come to an end. Because Jia Patel is also right. Business is not different from the partners. The partners were only carrying the business. Therefore, they are collectively known as firm. And when they die, firm also come to an end. ये सारे पॉइंट्स हमने कर लिए हैं. एंड इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट टू रिमेंबर इज पार्टनरशिप एक्ट इज साइलेंट अबाउट द मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स. सो मिनिमम मैंने कितने बताए आपको चिल्ड्रन? पार्टनरशिप में मिनिमम मेंबर्स कितने होने चाहिए? 2. Maximum number of members my students will remember for as of now it is 15. So children, as per Companies Act 2013, the maximum limit which was fixed for rupees 100, I'm saying rupees, I'm still in sale of goods act, maximum numbers were 100 for the members, but then rules 2014 came up. So we always have to see the latest rules, which are 2014 rules. There, as of now, the present limit that they have set is 50. So the maximum cap limit is 100 members for the partners, but the cap limit which has been set up by the rules 2014, they say now the maximum limit put of 50 partners in any association or partnership firm. So ma'am, do we need to remember 100 or 50? You will remember that as of now, the maximum cap limit is of 50 members. However, Act 2013 earlier provided the limit of 100 members, 100 partners, not the word members. We're using the word partners. Agreement can be oral or in writing. It can be expressed or implied and form a consistent course of conduct being followed. Now you said, ma'am, okay, partnership can be oral also and writing also. In writing, if we have made everything is documented, there is no problem. In oral, if we have made a partnership, you came to my shop, Mr. MD and Kushi said that, ma'am, we want to be partners with you. And I opened up the partnership firm with Mr. MD and Kushi. Kushi, we have already taken her name. Now we'll take Jia Patel. So Jia Patel and MD has opened a partnership with me. And we said, okay, fine, since partnership agreement can be oral, so let's orally make the partnership agreement. But children, MD, Harleen and Jia Patel, they're doing partnership. Won't they be running any business? Won't they be maintaining any books of accounts? Won't they be having any records of sharing of profits? Agar agreement oral bhi hai, then also from the consistent course of conduct, kuch to pata lagega na. Something will be there which is showing the mutual understanding between them. Law says agreement might be oral or in writing, but implied has to be made from the conduct of the business. If we have no books of accounts, we have not opened up any bank accounts, we are not doing any business, then how will we at partnership firm? This is a case which is coming under section 6. I'll explain you how the agreement is important. But as of now, simply remember agreement can be oral or in writing. If it is in oral, then the conduct how which it is being done will be important to be seen. So children, if I tell you that we three are only doing business, but we don't have any motive of profit, will it be partnership? The answer is no. We should be tempted to earn profits also. So for example, we have opened up a partnership firm of making waffles. Have you eaten waffles? Nowadays, from chocolates and chips, we have come to a new latest trend that is on Belgian waffles sell करते चलो. हमने partnership firm बना. अब हमने सारा उसके लिए सामान इकट्ठा करा, बैटर इकट्ठा करा, चॉकलेट सॉस ली, ऊपर चिप्स लगाए, सब कुछ पूरा वॉफल तैयार करा. I hope I'm not making you watering your mouths, but let's understand, then it becomes interesting. And all the expenditure which all the partners ABC3 incurred was rupees 10 lakhs. And now we sold at the same price. So say for example, I made one waffle and I incurred expenditure of rupees 100 and making this waffle, and I sold it at the same price of rupees 100. So every time we were joining the ingredients, we were making the products and we are selling it at the same price. So we are doing business, but are we earning profits? कुछ तो मोटिव होना चाहिए ना कि चलो 100 का बनाया तो 101 का बेच दो, नहीं ज्यादा बेचना. Generally तो 100 का बनता है तो वो 200 का बेचते हैं. This is the kind of sale we do. We are earning a profit of 100 rupees. Even if you're selling it for 101, even if 1 rupee is your motive of profit, then only the essential condition is satisfied. अगर 100 rupees का एक्सपेंडिचर आपने कर कर एक वॉफल के ऊपर उसे 100 का ही बेच दिया, आपका कोई मोटिव नहीं है प्रॉफिट का, और आप ऐसे ही करो, फिर तो बच्चा आप चैरिटी कर रहे हो. फिर तो आप सेम चीज बना रहे हो, उसको बेच रहे हो, फिर बिजनेस मोटिव है बट मोटिव ऑफ प्रॉफिट इज एब्सेंट, अगेन पार्टनरशिप विल नॉट बी हेल्ड क्लियर. समझ गए? ऑलराइट. Agreement to share profits we have done. See this small baby who is left out. If you're not giving A, B, C are getting the share of profits, this D is not getting the share of profits, it will not be considered as partnership. So co-owners wala example hum kar chuke hai. Rental income, you all know it is no business is existing, so it is not a partnership. Charitable institutions, abhi humne charity kari, saman kharida, utne ka hi bech diya, charity kar rahe hain, club form kar rahe hain, it is not a partnership because it is for non-economic purpose. X and Y buy the bales of cottons, agree to sell on their joint account, share the profits equally, they will be held partners. And this is what we have just understood, the principle of mutual agency. Law says the true test, the deciding factor whether it is a partnership or no is mutual agency rather than just simply sharing of profits. हमने 100 की बजाय वॉफल 200 का बेच दिया, प्रॉफिट भी कमा लिया, बिजनेस भी कर रहे हैं, बट क्या अगर ए ने वॉफल्स बेचे हैं या फिर ए ने सामान खरीदा है, बी एंड सी लायबल है उस ट्रांजेक्शन के लिए या नहीं है? दैट इज द मेन मोटिव टू डिसाइड द पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म. So there was a very interesting case law, KD Kamath and Company. It says the Supreme Court saw two essential conditions. There should be an agreement to share the profits and losses, and the business must be carried on by all of them. In this particular case, children, the fact was that exclusive power and control can be in the hands of even one of the partner. Only one partner is operating the bank accounts or borrowing the money for the firm. That is not important. That is not destructive theory, provided the two essential conditions are fulfilled. वो क्या कहते हैं केडी कामत के केस में, अगर एग्रीमेंट थी पार्टनर्स में and mutual agency was present, then in this particular case what happened was this KD Kamath, he was the only sole person who was taking care of all the business decisions. He was only operating all the bank accounts. And what happened? They went to the court and they said, look, this KD Kamath is a sole proprietor. He's not a partnership because he is the only one who is considering all the bank accounts, taking all the important decisions of the business. So law said you have to closely see whether there was an agreement of KD Kamath with other partners. Yes, there was an agreement. Was other partners liable for whatever transactions KD Kamath was doing? Mutual agency was present. Yes, ma'am, it was present. Then the Supreme Court, the supreme power, it held that this KD Kamath and Company will be considered as the partnership firm. You cannot call it simply a sole proprietor or one-person company just because KD Kamath is only handling the bank accounts. Even if one person is having all the powers, then also if agreement to share the profits is there and mutual agency relationship is present, we will conclude that both of them are considered as the partnership firm. समझ गए? एक बार ये essential elements read कर लो. I'll just go through your queries and let's take a small break here. All right, welcome back, students. So I have read most of your queries, and I have also read that Nital Soni is writing. We are enjoying that and loving that waffle. So great. But after the whole waffle story, somebody is still asking, Prateek Savalia is asking, what is the meaning of acquisition of gains? बच्चा उसी के लिए तो story सुनाई थी waffle की. Acquisition of gains means profits kamana, acquire karna. So law says just not the motive of business you should be having. Your purpose should not be just to do the business, but also you should try to earn profits out of that business. Then only it is justified to call it a partnership. So all those who are still lost, I knew that this question will be coming up, ma'am. How many number of partners we have to learn? What is the maximum number of partners? So I understand it becomes confusing for all of you, but let me just give you a briefing. Many a times, children, the Act lays the maximum limit. So we have understood that Companies Act 2013, actually the number of partners is not defined in the Partnership Act. तो कौन बताता है maximum number? Companies Act बताती है. तो Companies Act ने cap limit रख दी, 100 partners आप ले सकते हो. But जब rules from time to time, the rules keep coming and keep showing the amendments. So after Companies Act 2013, the latest Companies Rules Amendment 2014 came up. और जब वो रूल्स आए 2014 के, उन्होंने मैक्सिमम कैप लिमिट एट प्रेजेंट 50 कर. तो आप ये याद रख सकते हैं, लेटेस्ट लिमिट व्हिच हैज बीन गिवन अंडर कंपनीज रूल्स 2014 is number of partners should be maximum 50. But for your own knowledge, you should know that the limit given under Act is 100. Okay, Mr. Sakaldeep, that's great. Yes, Arshdeep, both the principles have to be seen. Ma'am, please clear one more chance of acquisition of gain. Miss Shivangi Bint is also asking. बच्चा आपने 5 रुपीज की पेंसिल खरीदी, आप बिजनेस करते हैं, मार्केट में आपने 7 रुपीज की बेच दी. तो हैव यू अर्नड एनी प्रॉफिट? यस और नो? What will be the profit amount? We have earned the profit of ₹2. So this is called acquisition of gains. Gains acquire करना. Business में कमाई नहीं सिर्फ होनी चाहिए, profit भी होना चाहिए. So this acquisition of gains means earning profits. Simple language में लिख सकते हो, earning profits. Good, Prateek. Principle of mutual agency, Arshdeep, अभी एक और example करेंगे और clear हो जाएगा. Janvi is asking if ABC are partners. And if A is only actively doing all the business and sharing the profits, there is mutual agency, then will it be a partnership or not? अच्छा चलो ये आप लोग मुझे बताओगे. मिस जानवी सरवाकर ने क्वेश्चन पूछे. I want all my audience to answer this. That if there are 3 partners ABC, they have signed an agreement, they are doing a business, but Mr. A is only actively participating in all the business. He is only opening the bank accounts. He's dealing with the borrowing powers of the company, of the firm. He only go and have meetings and with all the directors of the company. And they have a principle of mutual agency also. So will ABC partners, yes or no? आपने बताना है मुझे. Okay, Rohan Kumar, don't send it again and again. I will take up this question also. So Ali Hussain, Gunjan Sheikh, Rohan, Ustad, Ishan and Khushi are the first ones to send me the correct answer. Yes, ma'am, it is partnership because all the essential elements of partnership were present. फिर चाहे एक ही पार्टनर ज्यादा एक्टिव पार्टनर क्यों ना हो, अगर हमारा म्यूचुअल एजेंसी एग्रीमेंट शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स प्रेजेंट है, then it will be a part. Same case, Mr. Rohan Kumar is asking, if A and B are partners in a bakery and acquires whole profits and B takes out cakes, then it is a partnership. B takes out cakes, what takes out cakes? Your query is not very clear, but I think what you mean to understand is that only B is having, A is taking all the profits and B is not given anything. Then it will not be a partnership. Rohan Kumar, sharing of profits have to be done. You saw in that puzzle in your study material, they have shown 3 puzzles and the 4th puzzle the person is trying to come in. I just now taught you if you're excluding the 4th partner, you're not giving him the share of profits, then it is not a partnership. Very good, children. Nice. those who have sent correct answers, and with the explanation, I am really satisfied. Good, Vagdevi, Priyanshu, Samir. I will not take names, then others get offended. Hamara naam nahi liya, because 200, 500 names, so difficult to take all the names. Rohan Kumar is now corrected his line. He says, if B takes cakes home out of them in the bakery, then bacha aap personal frauds kar rahe ho, you will be held liable and you have to pay the personal profits back to the other partners. Okay, good. I'm glad you people are using your brains, but these are the topics which will be covered in the chapters ahead as well. So KD Kamath and company सबको clear हो गया. अभी हमने ABC वाले example से भी clear कर लिया. All the essential elements are present. Then even if one of the partner, yes, Bhumika, in that only one of partner is actively working. Simon is saying if one of the partners died, then बच्चा दूसरे partners carry कर लेंगे partnership firm. Not to worry in that. But if they decided to dissolve the firm, chapter 3 dissolution, you will understand there. Yes, Mansi, that's correct. Okay. Let's proceed ahead now. So true test of partnership, we just did. Section 6 specifically tells you that agreement, sharing of profits and mutual agency must be there. Now children, these 4 are the cases of examples that they have given to you, that this is what we understand if you are just paying a remuneration. What is the meaning of remuneration? Remuneration means salary pay करना. अगर मैंने वो राजू को एम्प्लॉय करा था एज एन एम्प्लॉय इन माय फर्म, आपने ही मुझे बताया था ना कि मैम आप उसको सैलरी दे रहे हो तो वो पार्टनर नहीं है, तो शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स में से मैं सैलरी भी तो अपने प्रॉफिट्स में से ही दे रही थी ना उसको. तो सिंपली ये नहीं बोल देना कि आप प्रॉफिट्स में से हिस्सा दे रहे हो, सैलरी दे रहे हो, वो पार्टनर है, तो वो पार्टनर नहीं है. लेंडर ऑफ मनी टू पर्सन एंगेज और एंगेज, ये कह रहा है आपको रिसीट बाय पर्सन बता रहा है. कई बारी शेयर ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स लोग ले रहे होते हैं आपके बिजनेस में से. It may be different from the sharing of profits. It will not make you a partner just because you are getting the receipt of the share of the profits. So lender of money to persons engaged. अगर आप किसी को पैसा lend कर रहे हो, लोन पे दे रहे हो, so kind of a loan transaction if somebody is giving does not become your partner. A widow or child of a deceased partner. So Mr. अभी कोई बच्चा बोल रहा था, Mr. Samed was giving an example that one of the partners dies. So for example, A, B, C are the partners. So if C has died, Mr. Samed, and you are giving a share of profit to C's son, you are just paying them the annuity. So will C's son become a partner in your firm? Law says no. If any annuity amount, annuity होता है कि आपने कोई एग्रीमेंट करा है कि अगर किसी की डेथ हो गई है तो आपने इतना पेमेंट उसको करना है. By law, legally it has been defined that every month this sum of money you have to pay to this person. So any annuity, annual payment, any annual payment that you are making for some for some particular cause, then in such a case it will not be considered as sharing of profits. Even the sale of goodwill, it says anything which is paid to the previous owner for the sale of goodwill will not make the receiver as a partner. So where you're selling of all of your business and you're also making the payment for the goodwill of the business, you will not be making the person as a partner. So it says prima facie evidence है, conclusive evidence नहीं है. Sharing of profits होना चाहिए, agreement होना चाहिए. But what is the conclusive evidence? Conclusive evidence is that mutual agency should be present. So now let's understand the cardinal principle. Cardinal मतलब उसका heartbeat चलता है partnership का mutual agency की वजह से. Mutual agency आप सब समझ चुके हैं कि अगर एक पार्टनर कोई एक्ट करता है, बाकी पार्टनर्स भी बाइंडिंग होते हैं, उनका भी उसके ऊपर लायबिलिटी बनती है. If every partner is carrying as principal as well as an agent, so one partner tries to bind the other partners means, इसको meaning लिख लो, binding means makes them liable. If one partner does anything, he makes the other partners also liable for his actions. Now we are understanding the second case law of today's class, Santi Ranjan Das Gupta. अब इसमें भी बच्चे सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट्स हैं. आपको पता है सुप्रीम कोर्ट मतलब ये कैसे कॉल लेते हैं, भी सुप्रीम कोर्ट में गया केस, तो पहले आपके स्मॉल डिस्ट्रिक्ट कोर्ट्स बने होते हैं, वहां पे फाइट चलती है। तो अगर वहां पे मैनेज नहीं होती तो हाई कोर्ट में जाती है, तो हाई कोर्ट के बाद सुप्रीम कोर्ट, द सुप्रीम पावर, मेजर डिसीजन मेकर आपका सुप्रीम कोर्ट है, उसका जो भी फैसला होता है वो फाइनल होता है। तो ये संती रंजन दास गुप्ता एंड केडी कामत आर दी सुप्रीम कोर्ट जजमेंट्स, यू मस्ट नो देयर नेम्स। ओके, एंड दो ही है केस लॉज, इतना तो लर्न कर ही लोगे आप, है ना। अच्छा, जब अभी इजी बन जाएगा तो फिर बहुत इजी लगेगा। फॉलोइंग फैक्टर्स वर वेड अपॉन सुप्रीम कोर्ट टू रीच द कंक्लूजन दैट देयर इज नो पार्टनरशिप बिटवीन द पार्टीज। अब केडी कामत में हमने क्या कंक्लूड करा था कि केडी कामत जब अपनी रजिस्ट्रेशन कराने गया था फर्म की, तो उन्होंने बोला भाई तुम फर्म ही नहीं हो, क्योंकि तुम तो सोल ओनर हो, तुम ही सारे डिसीजंस लेते हो, तो तुम कैसे हो सकते हो। बट उस केस में सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने देखा एग्रीमेंट है, शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स है एंड म्यूचुअल एजेंसी है, तो आप पार्टनरशिप फर्म है। अब संती रंजन दास गुप्ता में क्या कंक्लूजन हुआ, कहता है पार्टनरशिप फर्म नहीं है आप, यू आर नॉट अ पार्टनरशिप फर्म। व्हाई मैम, व्हाट हैपेंड? On the basis of these points, partners have not maintained any record of the terms and condition of partnership. There was no agreement, no records for the agreement of partnership. They were not having any accounts of its own. कोई profit and loss account नहीं बना हुआ, balance sheet नहीं बनी हुई है, inspection के लिए कोई accounts है ही नहीं. No accounts were opened with the bank. No written intimation was given to the deputy director for creating new partnership. वो कहते हैं भाई कुछ तो रिकॉर्ड होगा ना कि आप पार्टनरशिप कर रहे हो, आप तो सिर्फ संती रंजन दास गुप्ता एक नाम लेकर बैठे हुए, लेबल ऑफ पार्टनरशिप फर्म, जस्ट टू ईट द बेनिफिट्स ऑफ पार्टनरशिप। In reality, there was no agreement, no bank accounts, no records, no profit and loss and balance sheet for inspection, no written intimation was sent. So for whenever you are creating a new partnership, a deputy director has to be given a new intimation, written intimation. चैप्टर नंबर 3 रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ फॉर्म में समझेंगे ये कैसे होता है। अभी के लिए सिर्फ ये 4 पॉइंट दिखेंगे कि बिकॉज नन ऑफ दीज थिंग्स वर प्रेजेंट, देयरफॉर इट विल हेल्ड, सिंस देयर इज नो एग्रीमेंट, सो नो पार्टनरशिप। वो कहते हैं एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ म्यूचुअल एजेंसी कार्डिनल प्रिंसिपल तो है, बट अगर एग्रीमेंट ही नहीं एग्जिस्ट करती है, शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स कहीं दिखाई ही नहीं दे रहा भाई, फिर कोई पार्टनरशिप नहीं है, फिर चाहे आप म्यूचुअल एजेंसी भी ले आओ। बेसिक इंग्रेडिएंट्स ऑफ एग्रीमेंट, शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स तो होना ही पड़ेगा प्रेजेंट। समझ गए? सो अगर मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दूं, एबीसी एसोसिएट्स एक फर्म है, अभी आपने जस्ट करा कि मिस्टर ए सारा रिकॉर्ड मेंटेन करता है, तो आपने कहा मैम हाँ जी वो पार्टनरशिप है, even if A is maintaining all the records and doing all the benefits. So ABC Associates, they said that they went to the court and they said that we want to be declared as a partnership firm, but they were not having any written agreement. There were no records of showing their relationship. There were no bank accounts which were open up, and no intimation was sent to the deputy director. So can you say that ABC Associates is a partnership? Yes or no? Then in that case it will not be. Oral में भी records हो सकते हैं. Then you have to prove, Mr. P. Vishnu, that there is some relationship. I told you by course of conduct. अभी शुरू में मैंने आपको क्या बताया था कि अगर आपकी एग्रीमेंट राइटिंग भी हो सकती है, ओरल भी हो सकती है, बट ओरल एग्रीमेंट में कुछ तो कंडक्ट ऑफ बिजनेस दिखाओगे ना, कहीं तो दिखेगा रिकॉर्ड कि आप कोई काम कर रहे हो, बट कोई रिकॉर्ड है ही नहीं, कोई बैलेंस शीट ही नहीं है, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट ही नहीं है, कोई इंस्पेक्शन के लिए बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स नहीं है, देन इट विल बी नॉट अ पार्टनरशिप. Good. So, Mr. MD, if it's the first year partnership, you will definitely open up certain books of accounts. You will certainly be having any dealings, any kind of, documents to prove that it's a partnership. Good. Lisa, Anjana, Bontha, Kirti, Sidra, Anshita, Ekta, Mandi, Kunjan Devi, Vagdevi, Sakshi, Vivek, Khushi, Rohini, all of you are correct. Ali, Hassan, Pranav, Ishan, Divya, Mandi, Mr. Kaimi. Mr. Kaimi, it's not necessary to memorize the name of the house, but I'm sure after reading it 2-3 times, it will get fed over here. Don't worry. All right. Yes, Ms. Bhumika, because all the essential elements are not present, that is excellent. Good. Surya, Lakshita, Kiran, Prateek, all of you are correct children. If there is a, Gunshita is asking, partnership agreement and deed are one and the same thing, we'll just do about that also. Clear ho gaya bachche sabko? Santi Ranjan Das Gupta is clear. In one case we have done that yes, it is a partnership. In another case we have done no, it is not a partnership form. Let us now move to the Presentation. See, this is where the cap of 100 is written, children. Those who were asking, Section 464 of the Companies Act is telling you that the maximum number of partners can be 100. But since rules were given in after 2013, 2014 में rules दिए गए थे, तो present limit उन्होंने जो restrict करी हुई है, उस पर restriction डाल दी है 50. So अगर ABC Associates is having 56 maximum partners, then this is not done. Rules will become applicable. As of now, 50 partners is the maximum cap that has to be seen. Let us quickly complete the presentation, children. So these Section 4 and Section 6 case laws, you can do it from the study. Now let's start with the points of differences. So children, in the morning when I was telling you partnership form, you told me, ma'am, if all the partners will die, firm will also come to an end. At the same case, if I ask you, let me check your knowledge from the business studies that you have studied. If A, B, C are the directors and shareholders of a company, and all these A, B, C died in an accident, will the company continue to exist or it will come to an end? You have to answer me. In the morning, you all answered me correct. Yes, that's correct. Shivangi and Gunjan Devi and Om Prince has also written a detailed explanation. Good. Divya, Gareja, Gunshita, nice. Gunshita, not just the partnership agreement, although those 3 tests needs to be seen. If mutual agency is not present, then also it will not be a partnership. Okay, now mixed answers I am getting. Divya Kumari says it will end. Himanshu Pathak says company continue to exist. Gunshita says it will come to an end. Samriti says it will come to an end. Sakshi Kadolkar is giving a very beautiful answer. No, ma'am, because company will not come to an end because it is an artificial legal person. Good. Sudiksha, good. Manjunathan, Gareja, Kushi, Rohini, Pooja Kumari, Neha Agarwal, absolutely correct. Manvi Khanna, no company will dissolve. Galat hai. Miss Arshdeep says continue because they're not partners. That's correct. Lakshita, no ma'am, company is still working. That's correct. Syed, Kushti, Pranav, Lisa, Soumya, Diksha, P. Vishnu, Shriyanti, Ustad, Priyanshu, Ishan, Isha Pandit is also correct. Simran, Lakshmi S. Manash, Mahato, Surya Kumar, Janvi, Mahesh, Shivangi, Parth, Mr. Remdi. Yes, because company will never affect my own people. ठीक कह रहे हो आप. Bhumika is also correct. Mr. Naveen is also correct. Meghna is also correct. Okay, children, now stop sending the answers. We have declared the answer already. So, Jia Patel, Pratik, all of you are correct, children. So, why? Because company is an artificial legal person. Very, very important point. When we do Companies Act, we will give you a huge explanation on my favorite case law, that is Salomon versus Salomon. आज इसके बारे में बात नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि ये सारा का सारा केस लॉ कंपनीज एक्ट में कवर करते हैं. अभी सिर्फ सिंपल बात ये समझनी है कि कंपनी एक लीगल पर्सन है इन द आईज ऑफ लॉ. लॉ की नजर में कंपनी एग्जिस्ट होती है सेपरेटली फ्रॉम इट्स शेयर होल्डर्स. सो इवन इफ ऑल द शेयर होल्डर्स डाइज, कंपनी कंटिन्यूज टू एग्जिस्ट. कंपनी बंद नहीं होती है. कंपनी को बंद करने के लिए प्रॉपर वाइंडिंग अप प्रोसीजर करना पड़ता है. But partnership is not a legal person. When all the partners together are known as partnership firm. If they die or if they come to an end, firm will also come to an end. What is the meaning of perpetual? Perpetual means continuous. Perpetual means continuous. So company has a continuous existence. It will never come to an end unless you are winding up the company. Partnership firm does not have perpetual succession. It is only working till the partners are alive. Company is created by registration under Companies Act. Partnership is guided by Indian Contract Act and Partnership Act. Registration is not compulsory, children. We might get the partnership firm registered in order to eat certain benefits of registration, बट कंपल्सरी नहीं है. बट क्या आप एक कंपनी खड़ी कर सकते हो लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज एंड रजिस्ट्रेशन करे बिना? आंसर इज नो. इन कंपनी registration is must. That's why, children, nowadays people have started adopting LLP. You know the full form of LLP? It's limited liability partnership. LLP tries to eat the benefits of both company plus partnership. What is the benefit LLP eats from partnership? The flexibility of agreement. मैंने आपको बताया बहुत आसान है पार्टनरशिप बनाना. आप आए, आपने हैंड्स फोल्ड करा, एग्रीमेंट करी, रिकॉर्ड बनाया, सारा काम खत्म हो गया, आपकी पार्टनरशिप बन गई. And you're holding each other liable, you're sharing the profits. Plus, आपको कंपनी वाला बॉडी कॉर्पोरेट एग्जिस्टेंस चाहिए. आपने अभी सीखा कि पार्टनरशिप लीगल बंदा नहीं है, बट कंपनी एक लीगल पर्सन है. तो आपने कंपनी का लीगल पर्सनालिटी का बेनिफिट ले लिया और पार्टनरशिप की एग्रीमेंट की फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी का बेनिफिट लेकर एलएलपी क्रिएट कर. लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी पार्टनरशिप. व्हाट इज द मेजर benefit that you're eating out of LLP is you get your liability becomes limited. In a partnership form, your liability is unlimited. अभी समझाऊंगी कैसे. But LLP में your liability becomes limited. So this is another form of organization which has recently been started, and people try to take the benefits of both company and partnership and they form LLP. Number of members we have done. Here we have already done 100 and the rules are now giving the present limit of 50. 50 is something which my students have to remember. Private company, maximum 200, minimum 7. And a public company should have minimum 7 members and unlimited. What is the maximum limit? No cap has been given for the public company's maximum limit. So if I say I'm forming a private company with 1 member, can it be done? No, you need minimum 2 members. Can I form a public company with minimum 5 people? Yes or no? Answer is no, ma'am, because minimum 7 have to be there. Can a private company has 300 maximum members? Answer is no, because 200 is the maximum limit. Then it needs to be converted into public. Going to another point, distribution of profits. Bacha, if you have invested in a company, say for example, you have invested in certain shares of ABC Limited. Will ABC Limited give you certain profits also? What do you get when you invest in shares? You always get dividends on the share price. Company is not going to distribute the profits among the members. If you have taken up the shares in Reliance, it doesn't mean that Reliance will come at your home and give you the profits also. You can only eat the fruits of dividend, that also out of profits. Company को profit होगा तो वो preference dividend, equity dividend declare करेगी, नहीं तो वो dividend ही नहीं रहेगी अगर loss में. In partnership form, it is compulsory. You cannot have partnership firm without distribution of profits. You have to have the profits in the partnership firm distribution as per the partnership deed. What is the meaning of partnership deed? Partnership deed or agreement is one and the same thing. So partnership deed बनाई जाती है जिसमें सारा कुछ लिखा जाता है, आपके कितने number of partners हैं, कैसा business कर रहे हैं, ये सारे records maintain होते हैं. So if partnership deed is not there, then also it will not be considered as a legal partnership firm. So distribution of profits should also be given in your partnership deed. What happens to the property? In company, it says the property is separate from the members who can receive it back in the form of dividends or a fund of capital. अगर आप रिलायंस कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करते हो बच्चा, तो क्या रिलायंस की सारी प्रॉपर्टी आपकी बन जाएगी? The answer is no. कंपनी की प्रॉपर्टी अलग है फ्रॉम दोज ऑफ द मेंबर्स. मेरी प्रॉपर्टी जो है मेरे घर में है, कंपनी की प्रॉपर्टी कंपनी के पास है. इनमें सेपरेशन होता है बिकॉज कंपनी इज सेपरेट, मेंबर्स आर सेपरेट. But firm की property is the joint estate of all the partners. So A, B, and C made a partnership among themselves, and they said, "Let's buy a new table chair for our business." And Mr. A bought a nice table from home, and he said that, "Let's keep this table chair for the firm's business." Now, do you think if Mr. A has bought this asset for the firm's business, then only Mr. A will sit on the table chair? लॉसेज एक बार जो आप बिजनेस के लिए ले आए ना प्रॉपर्टी, ये जॉइंट स्टेट है, बी भी बैठ सकता है टेबल चेयर पे, सी भी बैठ सकता है. आपका तो म्यूचुअल ट्रस्ट एंड कॉन्फिडेंस होना चाहिए आपस में. लड़ाई नहीं करनी कि ये मेरे एसेट्स हैं मैं यूज करूंगा. पार्टनरशिप फर्म में all the property which you have given to the firm for the firm's business is the joint property of all the partners. So if Mr. B said that I will lay down the carpets for the firm, तो अब वो carpets everybody can walk on those carpets. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ A B walk करेगा क्योंकि B ने business के लिए लेकर आया सामान. Mr. C ने candle light लगवा दिया ऑफिस में, तो doesn't mean that Mr. C will only switch on the candle light, nobody else is allowed. All the property which has been invested by the partners is the joint property of all the partners. Transferring of shares. It says private limited can easily transfer their shares. What is the procedure? How it happens? We will understand in Companies Act. But as of now, again, even not here in Companies Act, CA Inter में जब आप जाते हैं, तो आपको पूरी detailed में आपको conversion of public into private limited company, how the private limited transfer its shares, what amendments needs to be made in the articles of association, everything you will learn. बट अभी के लिए मैम कितना लर्न करना है? पार्टनरशिप में इंटरेस्ट ट्रांसफर नहीं हो सकता, कंपनी में, प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी में आप अपना इंटरेस्ट ट्रांसफर कर सकते हो. इसके जो शेयर्स होते हैं प्राइवेट कंपनी में, आप इजीली, अगर ए ने अपने शेयर्स बी को देने तो इजीली ट्रांसफर कर सकते हैं आफ्टर फॉलोइंग द फॉर्मेलिटीज लेड इन द प्राइवेट लिमिटेड कंपनी इन द कंपनीज एक्ट. बट पार्टनरशिप में अगर मैं बोलूं कि मेरा 50% शेयर है, बी एंड सी का 25% है और ए अपना 50% शेयर किसी और को दे रहा है, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते जब तक डी एंड सी कंसेंट नहीं दे. सो बी एंड सी की अप्रूवल ट्रांसफर ऑफ शेयर्स के लिए बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी हो जाए. नाउ कम्स योर फेवरेट पॉइंट ऑफ लायबिलिटी. इन कंपनी द लायबिलिटी कैन बी लिमिटेड बाय शेयर्स और बाय गारंटी, and certain companies also have unlimited liability. However, in partnership form, the liability of the members is unlimited. Do you know the meaning of unlimited liability, children? Means koi limit nahi. So now all the eyes and ears here, carefully listen to a question. All of you have to answer this. If the assets of the firm are worth rupees 50,000. Again, हमारे partners वही है ABC. And इनके पास assets पड़े हैं 50,000. So 50,000 के हमारे assets हैं हमारे business में, and we have to make the payment of the liabilities for rupees 1 lakh. On any day, if my assets are 50,000 and my liabilities, say for example, we are closing this partnership firm and we are doing the final settlement, and out of these 50,000, I have to pay liability of rupees 1 lakh. So as per you, should I make the payment of only 50,000 and leave the rest? What should I do? How will I bring the 50,000? How will I pay the balance 50,000? Because partnership assets are only 50,000. How these balance 50,000 will be paid off? You have to tell me. I said liability of the partnership firm is unlimited. So कैसे pay करोगे आप? डिफरेंस बिटवीन पार्टनरशिप डीड एंड मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन. अभी मैंने कराया आपको प्रियांशु मेमोरेंडम ऑफ एसोसिएशन, तो फिर आगे नहीं जंप करना ना. एक्सीलेंट बी विष्णु, गुड आंसर. समृति is saying full liabilities will be paid. Good. So the balance debt will be paid from their personal property. So Mr. A, B and C घर से लेकर आएंगे बैलेंस 50,000 डिवाइड बाय 3 वो लोग करेंगे. करके देख लेना डिवाइड बाय 3 कितना आता है. So each of them will bring around 16,000 something. It will come 16,666. So everybody will be bringing points में answer आएगा 50,000 divided by 3. Each one of them have to bring money from their house in order to clear the debts of the firm. You cannot say that ये 50,000 पड़े हैं, liabilities ले लो, हम तो घर जा रहे हैं. Creditors, you have to dispose of the liabilities. You have to pay the balance 50,000 from the personal property of the partners. So write down the meaning of unlimited liability of partners means that partners' personal property is also liable to pay off the liabilities. Himanshu Pathak 16.66 नहीं 50,000 है, तो 16,666 per person has to be paid. Partner will contribute or will sell the, yes Sakshi, that's correct. Approximately 16,000, yes Vaishnavi. Balance, what you have to understood is that the balance will have to be paid from the personal property of the partners. Very good, children. What is the case of company? It says companies can be limited by shares or guarantee. See, for example, I had purchased a share in a company for rupees 10 and I have paid up rupees 8 on that. Now my liability still which is left is rupees 2. Now, whenever is the requirement will be to pay off the liabilities, I can only be called up to pay up till rupees 2. That is the meaning of limited liability. Limit लगी हुई है कि rupees 2 के beyond मुझे नहीं कहा जाए. But partnership form में ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ rupees 2 या फिर आपने कोई गारंटी दे दी, ऐसा नहीं है. पूरा का पूरा equally divide करके अभी आपने जैसे मुझे बताया 16,000 approximately सबको देना पड़ेगा. But company में आप गारंटी देकर फिक्स कर सकते हो अपनी अमाउंट या फिर बाय शेयर्स आप अपनी लायबिलिटी को लिमिटेड कर सकते. कंपनी में एजेंसी रिलेशनशिप है, आपने रिलायंस में इन्वेस्ट करा, अंबानी जी के आप एजेंट या प्रिंसिपल बन गए, क्या आप लायबल हो व्हाटएवर अंबानीज आर डूइंग? व्हाट आर यू लायबल फॉर दोस एक्शंस? नो, यू आर नॉट एजेंट इन केस ऑफ कंपनी. अ मेंबर इज नॉट एन एजेंट ऑफ कंपनी और अदर मेंबर्स. बट हाँ, अगर आपने पार्टनरशिप कर ली कहीं जाकर अंबानी जी के साथ, अपने हैंड ज्वाइन करा और पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म ऐड कर ली, फिर आप जो भी कर रहे हैं वो भी आपके लिए लायबल है और वो जो भी एक्शन लेंगे उस पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म में आप भी लायबल. So mutual agency is present in partnership, it is not present in company. Management कैसे होती है? सिर्फ directors participate करते हैं यहाँ पर. Only directors will be taking the decision here. All the partners actively participate. Whether you're an active partner, sleeping partner, वो हम आगे समझेंगे. But यहाँ पे all the partners have the right to take part in the management of the firm. Binding आपका मतलब होता है closure. Business कैसे बंद करा जाता है? Company कैसे close की जाती है? Company can be wind up by National Company Law Tribunal or its name gets struck off from the Registrar of Companies. So when you register the company, on the Registrar of Companies, ABC Limited will appear. Now you have to get a line struck off in the name of the company if you want to close the company. However, partnership can be dissolved any time by simply making an agreement. Partnership agreement करके ही बनती है और agreement के साथ ही dissolve भी हो सकती है. ABC इकट्ठे बैठे ऑन अ कप ऑफ टी, उन्होंने बोला चलो यार फॉर्म बंद करते हैं, हम एग्रीमेंट करें आपस में कि अब हम फॉर्म डिसॉल्व करेंगे. साइन करा एग्रीमेंट, फॉर्म डिसॉल्व हो. आसान है, ये फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी दी हुई है पार्टनरशिप को. फॉर्म बाय एग्रीमेंट, डिसॉल्व कर. यहाँ पे कोर्ट जाना पड़ेगा, नेशनल कंपनी लॉ ट्राइब्यूनल NCLT के पास जाना पड़ेगा, नाम स्ट्राइक ऑफ कराना पड़ेगा. लॉट ऑफ फॉर्मेलिटीज हैव टू बी फुलफिल्ड इफ यू वांट टू क्लोज द कंपनी. कंपनी को बनाना, क्रिएट करना भी फॉर्मेलिटीज लगती हैं, क्लोज करने में भी फॉर्मेलिटीज. Now children, other points are very, very simple. We just give them a reading and then we'll jump to your MCQs. What is the difference between partnership and club? Just read it. So if you go to eat food in certain clubs, say for example, you're a member of any press club. So when you go and enjoy dinner with your parents, do you ask for the profits of the club also? If you're a member of any club, say golf club, say for example golf club अगर आपके वहाँ पे है, तो अगर आप member हैं किसी golf club पे, आप golf खेलने जाते हैं, तो आप profits भी share करते हैं वहाँ पे? Yes ma'am or no ma'am? Definitely no ma'am. Profits थोड़ी ना share करेंगे हम, तो club को as a recreational facility के लिए use करें. Gym की membership है आपके पास, gym club जाते हैं, gym जाते हैं, club जाते हैं, तो आप profits भी लेते हैं वहाँ से. Your objective is only to enjoy the recreation facilities given by the club. There is no motive of profit. पार्टनरशिप में तो मोटिव ही प्रॉफिट है। यहाँ तो हम बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, क्लब में बिजनेस थोड़ा ना करने जा रहे हो। क्लब में बैठकर आप पार्टनरशिप बिजनेस डिस्कस कर सकते हो, बट क्लब के साथ आप मेंबर्स हो, पार्टनर्स नहीं हो। डू यू हैव इंटरेस्ट इन द प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ क्लब्स? पार्टनरशिप में तो आपकी जॉइंट एस्टेट है, जॉइंट प्रॉपर्टी है। तो अगर आप पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म में ऑफिस में बैठे हो तो अपने टेबल चेयर का चाहे मिस्टर ए का ही है, फिर भी ध्यान रखोगे ना। बट एज अ मैन ऑफ ऑर्डिनरी प्रूडेंस, मैं ये नहीं कह रही भी आप क्लब में जाकर चेयर्स तोड़कर ही आ जाओ, उनका भी ध्यान रखोगे, बट हाँ इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है हमें। अगर कोई चेयर गिर भी गई तो ठीक है, कोई और उठा लेगा, हमें कोई, मेरी कोई इतनी हेडेक नहीं है, मेरी सिरदर्दी नहीं, क्योंकि मेरी ओनरशिप नहीं है ना, वो प्रॉपर्टी अलग है। क्लब की प्रॉपर्टी क्लब की है, मेंबर्स की नहीं है। कभी आपने देखा, आप जिम जाते हैं तो कोई मशीन खराब हो गई है तो आप घर से खर्चा लेकर जाते हैं उस ट्रेडमिल को ठीक कराने, जाओगे कभी? चैरिटी करनी है तो कर देना, बट इतना इंटरेस्ट नहीं है हमें प्रॉपर्टी में। हम तो डांट कर आएंगे, तुम्हारा ट्रेडमिल खराब हो गया, प्लीज इसको ठीक कराइए। बट हाँ, अपनी प्रॉपर्टी पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म में वी हैव डेफिनेटली इंटरेस्ट इन प्रॉपर्टी बिकॉज इट इज माय प्रॉपर्टी, आई एम गोइंग टू सिट ऑन दिस और माय अदर पार्टनर्स आर गोइंग टू सिट ऑन दिस, वी हैव इक्वल रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द जॉइंट प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द पार्टनर्स। डिसोल्यूशन, क्लब बंद हो गया तो क्या मेंबर्स में कोई इफेक्ट आएगा? मेंबर्स यहाँ आ रहे थे, आज गोल्फ क्लब आ रहे थे, कल प्रेस क्लब चले जाएंगे, कहीं और चले जाएंगे। मेंबर्स में कोई इफेक्ट नहीं आता क्लब के बंद होने से या डिसॉल्व होने से। यहाँ पे पार्टनर्स में इफेक्ट आएगा एग्जिस्टेंस में, अब वो पार्टनर्स पार्टनर्स नहीं रहेंगे। मेंबर्स कैन स्टिल बी मेंबर्स इन एनी अदर क्लब, बट पार्टनर्स विल नॉट बी पार्टनर्स इन दैट पर्टिकुलर फर्म। को ओनरशिप बच्चा हम सुबह भी अच्छे से कर चुके हैं, अब आपको आता है। अगर हम भाइयों ने एग्रीमेंट करी है दैट फ्रॉम दिस प्रॉपर्टी वी आर गोइंग टू गेट द रेंटल इनकम्स, वी विल बी शेयरिंग द इनकम, इट इज अ को ओनरशिप केस। We have formed an express or implied contract of sale and purchase of buildings. We are getting the profits. We are sharing it as a partnership. Inheritance. What is the meaning of inheritance? Your father is the owner of big bungalow. After him, you become the owner of that big bungalow. Your father was eating rentals of that big bungalow. Now you are eating the rentals of that big bungalow. So you have inherited the property. So co-ownership या तो आपको inheritance से मिल जाती है, या फिर जैसे हमने ए एंड बी को ब्रदर्स को बाय ऑपरेशन ऑफ लॉ बनाया था को-ओनर्स, आप ऐसे भी बन सकते हो। यहाँ पे देयर इज नो इम्प्लाइड एजेंसी, यहाँ पे इम्प्लाइड एजेंसी है। यहाँ पे शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स होता है, यहाँ पे नो शेयरिंग ऑफ प्रॉफिट्स। कैन यू ट्रांसफर योर ओनरशिप? यस, विद द कंसेंट ऑफ पार्टनर्स। Here you can transfer even without anyone's consent. A and B were eating profits. Let's go to the same example. Both of them were having a rental income of 10,000 and A को मिल जाता है 5,000, B को भी मिलता है 5,000. B ने कहा I have a sister, we have a sister C. From now onwards, my interest of profits 5,000 will be going to C. I don't need anyone's consent. It's a co-ownership. We can just make any changes. We can transfer our ownership to anyone else as well. Association of persons. Many of you at times must have seen, if you're staying in societies, the people of societies get together for a particular cause. जैसे भी करवा चौथ आएगा तो सारे करवा चौथ वाली ladies will get together and they do some kind of prayers together, and they also have some rituals together. और मे बी ऑन रिपब्लिक डे और सॉरी इंडिपेंडेंस डे, अभी 75th पर आप सबने सेलिब्रेट करा है, तो आपने देखा होगा सोसाइटी वाले सब इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं एंड दे ब्रिंग द स्वीट्स एंड दे ऑर्गेनाइज सर्टेन प्रोग्राम्स एंड दे ट्राई टू यूटिलाइज व्हाटएवर अमाउंट्स एवरीवन हैज पेड फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर फंक्शन. Are they entering into a partnership when they're doing such kind of activities? No, ma'am, they are just known as association of persons. These are only persons who are coming together for a particular social cause. It can be a charitable cause or any religious cause. बिजनेस नहीं कर रहे हैं. मैंने आपसे 500 रुपए की पर्ची कटवाई फंक्शन करने के लिए, आपने मुझे पैसा दिया, हमने उस पैसे से टेंट वेंट लगाया, खाना वाना अरेंज करा, सबने एंजॉय करा, दैट्स इट. दिस वाज जस्ट एन एसोसिएशन ऑफ पर्सन्स. वी आर नॉट डूइंग एनी बिजनेस. But yes, we came together and we thought that from now onwards, we'll be starting a business of providing food to people. And in that business, we're also earning profits and we're sharing those profits. We are dependent and mutually liable for each other. Then it will be, if you're running a business for profit motive, then it will be a partnership. Samajh gaye? And joint Hindu undivided family, I think most of you know this. What is Hindu undivided family? the family which is doing a business, a Hindu family which is doing a business whose property is not yet divided. मतलब इनकी joint property होती है, इकट्ठे property रख के business करते हैं. कोई भी person जो उनके घर में birth लेता है या member आता है, जिस बच्चे का जन्म होता है, वो by birth इस HUF का member बन जाता है. बट एक हंसी वाली बात बताऊं, मुझे ABC partners है, and Mr. A had a son. Will Mr. A's son become partner in the firm? Yes or no? जल्दी बताओ मुझे. Yes, directors may also be shareholders, Avinash. Samir Singh, we'll understand about board of directors and other directors when we go to Companies Act. Mr. Kaime, I hope you're understanding. If you haven't understood anything, child, we have to take care of both category of students. If you have not understood, you can feel free to ask me if you want to ask anyone. Okay, children, are you answering me? If Mr. A had a son, will he become the partner? Excellent. No, not at all. Why? Because you don't become a partner just by birth. Okay, Gareja is fine. He says no, not in partnership firm, but yes in HUF. Excellent. Bhumika is excellent because she says that you can only become the partner with the consent of other partners. And you can also write down, children, because you need to sign an agreement. Okay, you need to sign an agreement that then only you become a partner in a firm. Yes, Divya Kumari, that's also correct. Yes, Kaldeep, if you do such kind of things, it will not be considered as partnership. That is also correct. Okay, I'll go to your queries later on. Good. Isha, Jia, Gunjan. Mr. Kaime, please remind me about the extent of liability. I'll explain you at the end. So we are already 12:54. Okay, so I'll just take up this topic. Don't worry. I'll explain you about the liability point. Let me just complete this HUF thing. Okay, so that means you all have understood that in partnership, only by an agreement you become a partner in partnership, and in HUF by status means by birth only you become a partner. Liability of a partner is unlimited. Mr. Kaime, please pay attention now. When I say liability of partner is unlimited, means that there is no extent to the liability. What is the meaning of liability? To pay off the money, whatever you have to pay to the outsiders, you have to pay off completely. So we just did an example where the liabilities were of rupees 1 lakh and you just had the assets of rupees 50,000. So the balance 50,000, we have to sell off the personal properties. Say A, B, and C are having personal properties and assets. We will sell off their personal properties, and out of their personal properties, they will pay off this balance 50,000 rupees. However, in case of HUF, only liability of Karta is unlimited. Other family members don't have the unlimited liabilities. Only Karta is the head of the family. He is considered as the leader of the business. So his liability is unlimited. However, the liability of partners, all the partners have unlimited liability. In case of partnership, the numbers are 50 maximum. HUF can have unlimited number of members. Can a minor be partner? The answer is no. Minor, unsound mind, people disqualified by law. Remember Indian Contract Act? All these people cannot be entered into a partnership. However, a minor becomes a member of ancestral business. Ancestral means pursho ka jo chalta aa raha hai. Your business that is being carried on by your family members, ancestors. You become a member by birth, not by attaining majority. So in case of HUF, you don't have to wait for the age of 18 years. You become a member immediately on birth as well. Now, children, please, MCQs, it's very important. Best, I will also take your queries side by side. Okay, let us first complete the queries and then we'll start with the MCQs. You can read the first question, others. MCQ 7 of Unit 2, pay to the creditors. Liability means karza. ठीक कह रहे हो समीर सिंह. Mr. Kaime, liability in case of a company, it is limited by shares or guarantee. When we go to the Companies Act chapter, we have full-fledged topic in which we'll be understanding what is the meaning of liability limited by shares and liability limited by guarantee. As of now, you simply have to remember, in case of company, the liability can be made limited. However, in case of partnership, your liability is unlimited. Okay. Yes, Conchita, that's correct. Minor can be a partner. Himanshu Pathak, excellent. Minor can be admitted for profits. But as of now, I don't want to confuse you because again, we have a huge topic on minor. Simply remember that minor cannot be a partner unless the other partners have agreed or for the benefits of partnership. So there are certain ifs and buts to be attached if in order to make minor as a partner. Yes, Vivek Kumar, that's right. Neha Agarwal, right to bid may be reserved. That means where I am deciding that ek hota reserve price. I fix that 20,000 price money that now you have to bid after this. Right to bid may be reserved. I have appointed certain person who will be doing a pretended bidding on my behalf. That cannot be considered as a legal thing. Okay, MCQ 21 and last unit. Please name the unit Lakshmi S. Okay, those who are giving me the answers, let me just complete with the answers of this. All those who have written the answer, 1D is correct. The firm is the name given to the collective name under which it carries on the business. Ankit Mishra, you have gone on transfer of title. Please explain kar dijiye. Bacha, we have to see the timelines also. You can ask for a separate session for all these queries. If I start explaining, it will be 1:30. Okay, don't worry. I'll try to explain it in a line or so. Okay. The true test for partnership is business, sharing of profits, agreement, mutual agency. All right, Mr. Kaime, don't worry. I'm glad you have understood now and send me the answers for this one now. The true test for partnership. What is the true test for partnership, children? Excellent. Mutual agency is the true test of partnership. Although these are the conclusive evidence, but I just taught you these are the prima facie evidence. They should be present, but the conclusive evidence is that mutual agency must be present. Good. All of the above you are saying, Bhagdevi. Can you see the choice? All of the above, it's not given only, bacha. 2D is the correct answer because that is the true test. Now, this is very interesting. Now, those who were asking your questions, it will be covered in this MCQ. A, B, and C are three partners. A purchased furniture for business purpose from D. Can D recover the money from B and C as well? After this, I'm going to open Sakaldeep, MCQ 21 of which chapter? Please tell the name of chapter. You want me to keep struggling and keep looking for which chapter are you asking? So you have to write the chapter number, MCQ 21 of which chapter? Lakshmi S, unpaid seller, which question? Please send again. Excellent. Those who have written yes, D can recover from B and C. That is absolutely fine. Now listen carefully. In the same question, child, If I say that A, B, and C are three partners, A purchased furniture for his personal use, can D recover from B and C as well? In that very case, you can answer it for A or B. You can take it as a fourth MCQ and answer me. A and B, can he still recover? Good, Rohan, Nabeen, Nitin, Sagar, Samriti, Kushi, Devender, Janvi, Anjana, Chanchal, Ekta, all of you right. Thank you, Miss Anjana. I'm so glad that you have understood clearly. So last one, you're giving me answer a big no. Excellent. Why? Because for personal purpose, if you're purchasing anything, the other partners will not be held liable. Very good, Vaishnavi, Sambhavi, Sahil, Bonta, Sonanika, Koshti, Mahesh, Diksha. Very good children. Vivek, Avinat, Himanshu, Sakaldeep. Acha, Sakaldeep has now again sent. So I think MCQ, unpaid seller, let's take up that topic. Most of you are asking for that. अब ये partnership हम आगे करेंगे बाद में. And others also, you can send up your points. Even if we are not able to do it today, we'll try to cover it in the next class. Okay, let's go to the particular question. So all those who were asking MCQ 21 of unpaid seller, in case of an auction sale notified with the reserve price. So we are talking about the reserve price over here. Auctioneer mistakenly knocks down for less than the reserve price. Then the auctioneer is bound by the auction, not bound by the auction, liable for the damages, or both A and C. So you tell me, children, where I have notified that the sale should be made at a reserve price. Let's assume it had to be at 10,000. It's the reserve price. And now by mistake, he has knocked down it at 9,000. Is he bound by the auction? Loss is not bound by the auction. Why? Because once the sale is complete, see, once the sale is complete, fall of hammer, the sale is set to taken place. He will not be bound by the auction. Why? Because now the less than reserve price has been given, although the reserve price had to be seen. So in this particular case, he will not be bound by the auction. He still can have the right to ask for further rates of bidding, and the sale will be made to the other buyer who gives the price apart from this, higher than this reserve price. All right. And all those who were asking questions related to auction sale also, let me just take you over here. Reserve price, see children, it is the reserve, is the minimum price that has been fixed beyond which sale cannot be made. Right to bid, jo log pooch rahe the. Right to bid may be reserved expressly. So this is C and E are almost similar, where the price is fixed on behalf of the seller, but not otherwise the seller. Say he's saying not anyone else cannot fix the price, only the seller or person on acting on his behalf has only the right to reserve the price for the same amount. All right. So now you send me particular MCQs that way you are asking, and we'll take them in the next class. I will just note down whatever MCQs you want me to take up in the next class. MCQ 4 of Unit 4. All right, Ekta Tiwari. Anybody else? Thank you, Mansi Sharma. I'm glad you enjoyed the session. Children, now you can send your queries. I hope, Sakaldeep, now your point number 21 is clear. Very good, Manch Mahato. Very good, Mahesh Kumar. Okay, Manvi, I've written down your question also, MCQ 7 of Unit 2, because time does not permit right now. Asha Singh has asked for section 51. Manvi, I've written it down. Don't worry, in the next class, First thing we'll do that. Lakshita, where you are joint owners, it is not a partnership firm. That is what we understood in that very case. Thank you, Nikhil Soni. I'm glad you are enjoying the session. Thank you, Vivek. Divya Kumari, please send your question again. पार्टनरशिप के लिए मनी कहाँ से अरेंज करते हैं? बच्चे, यू ब्रिंग योर ओन कैपिटल फ्रॉम हाउस. ये क्वेश्चन पूछते थे आप इतनी देर से. So आप मेरे साथ पार्टनरशिप कर रहे हैं. So please bring money from your house. I will get my own money and then we'll open up a partnership. And out of that money that we have collected, we'll do the business, and whatever profits we are gaining, we'll be paying off our liabilities. If we don't have sufficient amount to dispose of the liabilities, even our personal assets needs to be sold in that case. Okay. Sakshi R. Kudalkar, I have written your query also, page number 2.60. I'll take up in the next class. Priyanshu, subscription of club means in the club you pay the membership fees. In partnership, you are actually giving your capital investments. Very good, Diksha Agarwal. That's great. Thank you, Shivangi. Even I'm glad you enjoy. Thank you, Vishka. Thank you, Shan. 2.67. Question number 16. Noted down, Vivek. Thank you, Vagdevi. Even I feel inspired to see all of you responding so nicely. Point number 2 of unpaid seller. Himanshu Pathak, that's being unfair. You have not written the clear thing, what you have not understood. Anjana saying, children, now till the time I'll not go, you'll keep sending me these questions. I hope partnership is clear to everyone that we did today. Okay, Anjana, I have written your question also. Thank you, Ziba. Thank you, children. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, Mr. Bonta Dharma, you can see them again in the next class. Don't worry. All right, children. Thank you so much. We've already exceeded the time and I have noted on your queries. Not to worry at all. We'll take all these queries in the next class. Thank you. Goodbye.